It is rare for the entire Genshin Impact community to agree on something so completely. Usually, even with a controversial character or a new story quest, you will find a debate. You will find people who love it and people who hate it. But with the launch of the 6.1 update, that is not what we are seeing. The launch of Miliastra Wonderland has been met with a kind of universal backlash that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. It is more than the usual complaints. It is a deep, widespread feeling of confusion, anger, and just profound disappointment. Considering that this is something that the company hyped up as being amazing, this really sucks. And for a community that usually finds something positive in almost anything HoYoverse does, the sheer volume of negative feedback is staggering. This update was hyped up. It was meant to be a new permanent creative outlet for every player. But the reality of what we got is something else entirely. The problem isn't a few bugs or one expensive skin. It is the entire foundation of this new mode, from its gacha to its gameplay to the way it respects or disrespects the player's time. It all points to a massive miscalculation by HoYoverse. And to understand why everyone is so angry, right? And why that anger is frankly justified, we need to deconstruct it. We need to look at what was promised and what was actually delivered. But before we get into that, make sure to drop a like and hit subscribe if you want to see these kinds of videos, because it supports the channel. But anyways, let's talk about Miliastra Wonderland. On paper, right, this was a fantastic idea. It launched on October 22nd as a part of version 6.1, and the promise was a UGC mode. UGC just means user-generated content, and basically letting players make their own stuff. We were told that we would get to create our own custom domains, our own mini games and puzzles.
Maybe we can get a fucking League of Legends in Genshin, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that'll be fun.
No. It was meant to be a Roblox or Infinity Nikki competitor, but built right inside the Genshin world we already play in. A new way to be creative, right? A new way to customize. And frankly, just new things to do. Players echoed this, saying things like, I was extremely excited for it. But then it launched, and that excitement didn't just fade, it evaporated almost instantly. What replaced it was, well, I think you've seen the backlash. It was just widespread criticism, confusion, and genuine anger. The community realized very quickly that this was not the creative sandbox they were sold. This wasn't a Roblox competitor. In fact, players started saying things like,
but why would you play this when you can play Roblox?
And even, okay, so this is worse than Infinity Nikki and Roblox actually. It became clear that this was a convoluted, multi-layered monetization experiment. And this Wonderland felt like a test to see just how much HoYoverse could get away with. And it seems they misjudged badly. People felt that it was like the biggest letdown of the century. The backlash is so strong because it is aimed at 3 core issues, and they all stack on top of each other. First is the monetization. It is aggressive, and it is not transparent at all. It is confusing. And as we will get into, it seems like it was designed to be confusing on purpose. And second, the free-to-play experience. I mean, we all expect it to be limited, right? Fine. We all saw the gacha system, right? Fine. But this feels actively hostile. It is almost disrespectful of a player's time. Not just that, but the player's brain. They think you're stupid. And third, if you ignore all the money problems, right? Let's say you don't have money and you don't care about those things. The core gameplay itself, it is technically flawed. It is unfinished. It is buggy. And people are saying things like, Miliastra Wonderland is dog shit so far. It feels unfinished. The UI is broken. The games are hard to play. And most of the mini games are just not rewarding to play. And that last point is what makes everyone angry, because it immediately makes you ask, where did all of the development resources for the main game go? But you know what? Let's start at the foundation. We have to look at how this system asks for your money, or rather, how it is designed to confuse you about how it's asking for your money. Before we can even talk about the price, we have to talk about the confusion, because this entire system seems deliberately obfuscated. They've made it hard to understand on purpose. It is a classic 3-currency shell game. When you want to pull on the paid limited time banner, you don't just buy a pull. First, you use your real money, your dollars, your euros, your pesos, to buy Chronicle Nexus. This is just like Genesis Crystals, right? Notably, as players pointed out, there is no initial top-up bonus, unlike Genesis Crystals. And the amounts and prices are the same as post-initial top-up Genesis Crystals. keys. And that is the first step away from your real money. And then you have to take that Chronal Nexus and convert it into another currency, the Arcane Keystone. This is the thing that you actually use to pull, like an intertwined fate, right? This is the second step. Why do this? It is a very common tactic, right? It is meant to create psychological distance. It detaches you from the money that you're spending. You are not spending $1.70 on a single pull. No. You are spending 160 Arcane Keystones. It just feels different, right? It feels like a game currency, not real cash. And now at the exact same time, there is this other currency, the Geode of Replication. This is the one that you get for free by playing the game, and it is used on the free banner, the standard banner. And this is the most critical part of the deception, because this free currency exists, right? It builds on the illusion that the whole mode is free to play. It makes you assume that, just like in the main game, you can probably grind these geodes and somehow turn them into the paid Arcane Keystones. As one player asked, bewildered, "I'm a bit lost. I thought we would earn the currencies while playing the mode, but that is not the case." It is a reasonable assumption, right? And it is completely wrong. And that is where the next layer of the trap comes in. You actually go and you read the descriptions for these items, right? You want to know what they do. I didn't know what to do, so I just read them. And they're nonsense. They are poetic, pretty, lore-heavy nonsense. The paid Arcane Keystone description talks about being a repository of brilliant hues and myriad stories sealed. It doesn't say purchased with Chronal Nexus, used to pull on the limited time event node. It's written to sound like a magical in-game item, not the financial token it actually is. This is not an accident. This is by design. It is meant to confuse low information players, right? It is meant to confuse kids. And it worked. Players were asking, "You're telling me there is no way to get these other than spending money?" Hey, even sponsored content creators did not seem to mention this key detail, leading players to wonder if they were even made aware. It feels deliberately non-transparent. What do you think? How convenient that they never truly explained this, almost like they knew exactly that the interest in the UGC would drastically drop if they were transparent. I mean, what do you think? I mean, it is so obvious. And as we see it working in real time, this is not just a theory, not a game theory. This is the clip from my own stream when I was trying to figure this all out.
Oh, it's over here. All right, we got it. Where's the part where you can exchange it with free-to-play?
And at that moment, that confused searching, right? That is the trap. The game doesn't tell you it's a paywall. It forces you to look around and learn for yourself. And by the time you finally realize that the free currency and the paid currency are two separate roads that will never intersect, you are already invested. And it is only after you get past this confusion that you run face first into the actual cost of these items, which is where the next problem begins. Let's look at the pay to win banner, the event node, right? The hard pity for a 5-star outfit, the point where the game guarantees you get it, is 70 pulls. And that comes out to roughly $138. Wait, what? It's $138? Brother, you're selling an outfit for $150 with no way of farming the currency. It's kinda insane for HoYoverse. I mean, let that sink in, right? That kind of money for a single cosmetic set in a side mode? $150 is a lot. And it's even expensive for the regular Genshin spenders. What is even the point of playing the UGC game mode on Genshin if it costs $150 to guarantee you get the limited time outfit? Some even pointed out that you could commission custom mods for less. And that is not even the worst part. This is where it gets truly unbelievable. When I was looking through the rules, I found something.
If a legendary 5-star cosmetic feature in the current ode is obtained again by any means, including but not limited to ode, while you already own it, the second time you'll obtain the cosmetic, you will unlock Ascension for it. Ascension? What do you mean Ascension? There's constellations for outfits? Colors. You gotta pull 2 to change the color. To change the color, you gotta pull twice. Am I crazy? Am I like in the head? Because what the is that supposed to mean?
Yes, and that is exactly what it is. Your first $138 gets you the outfit. Your second $138 gets you a recolor and a silly little ghost particle effect. As I said on my stream, you have to spend up to $280 for a recolor? This goes beyond expensive. It is an insulting value. This is legit pure unabashed greediness. And it is a mode that is clearly designed to look like Roblox, a game played by kids. It is not just the big outfits either. Players were shocked. I mean, why is Miliastra entirely pay to win? Isn't this crazy? Like, I'm not paying like $5 to give my characters a blush or change their eye shape HoYoverse. Are you insane? And basic features like different hairstyles were also seen as lacking. Even the HoYo shield, the #1 HoYo shield, said that it is disappointing. I mean, what can I say at this point? But let's say you do it, right? You got possessed by 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗵𝗁 himself. You must spend on Miliastra Wonderland, 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗵𝗁 said calmly.
Harry, I protest!
Harry, you must spend on Miliastra Wonderland. Let's say you do spend that $138 on that 5-star witch outfit. You would at least expect it to be able to use it, right? I mean, that's just the logical thing, right? You pulled for the 5-star cosmetic. Let's say you do spend that $138 on that 5-star witch outfit. You would at least expect to be able to use the parts, right? Use that cool hat with a different set piece maybe. Well,
No.
Well, you see, the outfit comes with a set bonus, like that special colorful entrance animation. And here's the catch. To get that special effect, it looks like you need to wear the main body pieces of the set together, specifically the top and the bottom. And now you might be able to swap out the accessories like the hats or the gloves without losing the bonus. But if you mix and match the main clothing items, like using this top but with different bottoms, the special effect disappears like your daddy. So this is the central hypocrisy of the entire mode, right? It is sold as a customization mode, but the system actively punishes you for mixing the major pieces. You want the full value of what you paid $138 for. You are heavily discouraged from actually using the parts separately. You are not really buying creative parts. You are buying a single costume that just pretends to be modular. And just to turn that final screw, right? The banners are gender locked. The banner for the male mannequin and the female mannequina are completely separate. If you want that witch outfit for both of your avatars, you have to pay that $138 twice. So for the paying player, this isn't a Wonderland. It is a trap. It is outrageously expensive, and it is fundamentally unrewarding and anti-creative. And even the basic expectations like a monthly pass weren't met. How is there no double bonus or monthly pass like Welkin for this? But what about the free-to-play players, right? What is their experience? Well, that is where this goes from being a bad deal into being actively hostile to being frankly insulting. Free-to-play players are funneled into a completely separate banner, the standard ode. This is the banner that you use your free geode of replication currency on. The grand prize here isn't a 5-star, it's a 4-star outfit. I mean, okay, right? On the surface, I guess that's fine. You play for free, you get the 4-star stuff. It makes sense, right? I guess that makes sense until you look at the numbers. The base probability, the chance of pulling that 4-star item is a 0.6%. And if you still don't understand why that is like baffling, right? It is because a 4-star that has the same probability of a 5-star in the standard banner. But it gets worse, don't worry. Let's talk about pity. The safety net. On the paid banner, 70 pulls guarantees you the 5-star. So what is the pity on the free banner for a 4-star, right? It should have been 10 pulls. I mean, it's a 4-star. The elite 4-star, the 4-star item is at 70 pity? And it's not even guaranteed which one you get. You have to hit a 70 pull hard pity to win a 4-star? The value here is just objectively terrible. And if you really look closely, even within the 4-star pool, the system says verbatim will prioritize items that you obtain fewer than 2 times. But it doesn't guarantee you won't get useless dupes. Where does it say it guarantees you? Nowhere. But let's say you do it. Let's say you have no goals in life and you want to grind for weeks and months, right? You want to play all the mini games and you finally hit your 70 pity. Oh my god, you win! Right? No, you don't get the outfit. Players were asking, so you're telling me I pulled this outfit, but I have to pull it again just to craft it to actually use it. Why can't I just use it the first time I pull it? When you quote unquote win that 4-star item, you don't get the item, you get a cosmetic catalog. It is a recipe, a blueprint. You have won the permission to craft the item. And basically, I gave consent to 𝗖𝗿𝗆𝗵𝗁 to f my ass.
调皮男孩，调皮男孩，调皮男孩，脑体不稳。
To actually craft it, you need another item, a lustrous materials elite. So how do you get that? Well, you have two options. Option 1, you can grind it in the game. But as many players are discovering, this grind is painfully slow. It is tedious. It is designed to make you not want to do it. Some even called it useless. It is like it's catered for the unemployed fan base of Genshin. It is useless, and it gives nothing in return, unless you like to waste your time for absolutely nothing, right? But hey, you know, you do you. What is option 2? You go back into the gacha, and this is the real trap. This is the 210 pull loop. And yes, you heard that right, 210 pulls. Here is how it works. Pull 1 happens at 70 pity. Let's say you're very unlucky, am I right? You get the recipe, you can't use it. Pull 2 at 140 pity. Oh my god, you must be so unlucky. I mean, what can I say? It's 0.6% chance you get a duplicate of the same recipe. You check the rules, what does it say? No conversion occurs. It is literally useless and worthless. You get nothing, maybe. Pull 3 at 210 pity. You get a third copy of the same recipe. And what happens? This one finally converts into one single lustrous materials elite, which you can now use to craft the first recipe.
Okay, this is elite. For a singular pull? Am I high?
And this is the free experience, right? It is a grind versus gacha trap. It is not a reward system. It is a retention system. Retention. It keeps you playing. It is designed to make the grind so awful that this absurd 210 pull gacha loop seems like a shortcut. Or it is designed to make the gacha so statistically impossible that you feel forced to do the awful grind. Both paths are deeply, deeply disrespectful of your time. This isn't a free-to-play system. This is a system of contempt. And so the community, understandably, was outraged. The main complaint was clear. The event owed the banner with all of the good 5-star items, is 100% paywalled. Free-to-play players are completely locked out. But hey, it is not all bad, right? HoYoverse gave out a gift, an act of goodwill. They gave everyone 10 star tokens. And this is where the last bit of respect just vanishes, because you have to understand what these star tokens are, right? These are not free 10 pulls. They are 10 coupons for a 20% discount on pulls. So this gift is something you can only use if you spend real money. If you're a free-to-play player, these tokens are functionally worthless. They are just an icon in your inventory. You have no way to get the arcane keystone currency to apply the discount to. This isn't a reward. It is a sales flyer. It is a login bonus that actually just an advertisement. And players pointed out the fake discounts feeling extended to the shop too. Not even one cheaper. All of the prices are streamlined. All of the 4-star outfits are the same price. The probably fake discounts acting like that makes it literally any better is like insane. But hey, it gets much more cynical than that. The most insidious part of this whole thing, I can't even imagine how they thought of this. They expire. Wow, I don't even know how you innovate in such predatory ways. I mean, it is a classic trick in the book, right? FOMO, fear of missing out. It is not a gift. It is a high pressure sales tactic. It is designed to create anxiety. It's a little timer ticking down in your inventory, psychologically pressuring you to spend money. It's tickling your balls. It is designed to make low spenders or even free-to-play players think, well, I have this 10 discounts. I shouldn't let them go to waste, right? Maybe I should just spend a little bit. Hey, it is a slap in the face. Hey, wake up. It is a slap in the face. It is HoYoverse's solution to the paywall problem, which was to hand out expiring coupons that demand you participate in the paywall. It basically confirms what everyone was already thinking, that the entire purpose of this mode was to extract money, and it shows a complete and total contempt for the player's intelligence. Like, guys, they think you're stupid. Like, are you gonna take that, gang? The monetization is deceptive. The free-to-play experience is insulting. The gift are just sales tactic. But what about the game? Even if you ignore all of that, right? Is Miliastra Wonderland fun? Is Miliastra Wonderland a good game? And this is where the open beta excuse come in, right? You hear people defending it saying things like, oh, people seem to forget that Miliastra Wonderland is still on open beta and MiHoYo already dropped a roadmap. Hey, brother, this isn't some small indie company. This is HoYoverse, a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, why are we making excuses for the multi-billion-dollar company, bro? HoYoverse themselves have not even said anything. And these people are already running defense for them. It's insane. It's shameless. How are you defending this Like, you have rocks for brains, bro. And then on their Twitter account, they have an AI voiced video saying how the Miliastra Wonderland works. Come on, guys. They're acting like they're broke. This game made 50 billion annually. Like, are you knocked in the head, gang? Like, are you knocked, bro? But anyways, the mode launched, right? And it is plagued with crashes. The UI, the user interface, the buttons on the screen is broken in places. There are bizarre bugs when I was playing the games.
Surely this one is fun. There's no way I'm playing a 1v1 on a fucking... Is this actually... It is.
Inappropriate behavior. Or in my case, getting banned for inappropriate behavior for declining a match? It feels unfinished, even down to the smallest details like how the mannequins look like in the character archive. They are so out of place. Showing a picture of the mannequins in the character archive having a red background, right? What the hell, man? And the user-generated content itself, the games that the players are making, is just a void. It is a collection of uninspired, simplistic, and often broken experiences. Players are finding it so bad that they are actively asking how to leave. Like, some are already giving up entirely, saying that they prefer playing the TCG. And that comparison to Genius Invocation TCG, often seen as a less popular side mode, is brutal. I mean, look, my reaction to one of the first games I played was just uninspiring. I tried to play the recommended games, the ones with 93% positive ratings, and my experience was just, I mean, just watch.
Make do. Oh shit. I won. Nice.
I played the first-person shooter mode, right? I am shooting the enemy and nothing is happening. There is no health bar, there is no hit markers. The enemy I'm matched up with just left. And I was just alone in the world. Like, what is the point of all this? And okay, I tried the tornado simulator. I mean, it was recommended, am I right? This one will be fun, I thought. I got in, and yet another disappointment. It is just not impressive. I tried the Counter-Strike clone. I mean, there is no way to communicate, not even chatting. Wait, how do I even chat? I can't even chat. Oh, oh shit. Aether, lock in, twin. Let's go. Let's fucking go, Aether. Let's fucking go. There it is. Lock in, twin. We got it. And it's so incredibly bad. I mean, nice try to whoever developed this, am I right? But I'm just saying, all of this, like, this isn't gameplay. This feels like an endurance test. You can feel the sentiment just degrade the longer you play. I mean, is this the thing that we hyped up for so long? And after 30 minutes of broken mini games, the question changes to,
How long do I gotta endure this one?
and finally, I just gave up. And this is where it stops being just about a bad side mode. This is where it impacts everyone. Even if you never plan on touching Miliastra Wonderland, this is the real cost, and the community, they are right to be angry. Because the running theory, the one that makes way too much sense right now, is this. We lost map exploration because of this. We lost events because of this. I mean, think about it. The resources, the developers, the time, the money, where did it all go? It could have gone into expanding Not Cry. It could have gone into giving us new regions, the actual exploration content that we expect, or maybe a new event, actual Primogem giving event that we look forward to in these early X.1 and X.2 patches. But it didn't. All of that potential seemingly squandered on this. Instead of new maps, instead of continuing the story, we got this broken, buggy, frankly embarrassing sideshow. We got development cycles apparently dedicated to meticulously crafting $280 recolors because that is somehow deemed a priority. We got engineering effort poured into designing with apparent care that deliberately hostile, fundamentally unrewarding, later punishing F2P gacha loop. As one player put it out, they're really making us wait 4 months for a new map expansion in Genshin for a mode that is completely inaccessible on PS4, doesn't have the full gameplay on mobile, and has 80% of its gacha behind a real money paywall. The priorities here are just baffling, and that is the real cost here. It is not just that we got a failed outside mode. It is that we have a hole, a void, where the core Genshin Impact content, the stuff that people actually play the game for, should have been. And that is just staggering, isn't it? And so in the end, what is Miliastra Wonderland? It is more than just a failed update. It is more than just a buggy side mode that will be forgotten like some old event, like maybe the Teapot Realm or maybe the Genius TCG. It feels like a calculated predatory experiment, an experiment that failed on every single level it could. It's monetization, the way it asks for your money, right? It's deceptive. Its free-to-play path is actively hostile. It's a trap. The core gameplay, the foundation it was all built on, it's broken and unfinished, and its very existence seemed to have come at a direct cost. Core Genshin Impact content. The whole thing feels so poorly executed. But I think for the community, the best part, the part that stings the most, is not the price or even the bugs. It is the deception, the feeling of being disrespected. It is the vague, poetic descriptions for the currencies designed to confuse you. It is the 210 pull just to get a single 4-star outfit. It is the set bonus that punishes you for being creative in a mode that is supposed to be about creativity, and it is those insulting star token coupons as a gift. Hey, that is a sales ad. And when you put all of those things together, they point into a design philosophy that just seems it just seems to hold the player in contempt. It feels like it was designed by people who don't respect their own audience. The journey through this update wasn't just one of excitement or creativity. It was just a journey from confusion to frustration and in the end, exhaustion. Perhaps the only positive outcome, right? The new UGC mode actually did something good. You know what? It made me realize that the base game is not that bad after all. Thank you, Genshin Impact. I mean, it doesn't end with a bang. It just ends with a very tired sigh. And then the only question that really matters, the only thought you're left with after all of this, right? How do I get out? This entire situation, it feels like a deliberate test of the community's limits, a test to see just how far they could push. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do like it. If you do, let me know in the comments below. That is all from me, 𝗖cie𝗽𝗆𝗵𝗁, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.